hammering defense from San Antonio. Shot clock winding down. Castle has to put it up. Bang! Stephon Castle from three-point range. Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper. Got it! De'Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there. What a response from San Antonio.
Stephen A. Park over on First Take.
Yeah, man.
Cameron, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Big fan of what you do, man. I don't know what's going on.
What, man? I'm happy to see you, bro.
I'm family business is happening here.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is with the Knicks is you know, me and Danny was just talking off camera like, Cameron, you're not a Knicks fan? I would love to be a Knicks fan.
This team's not pulling you back in? It's not tempting you a little bit?
No, I grew up a Knicks fan.
Okay.
So he asked me if I grew up a Knicks fan. Yes, I grew up a Knicks fan.
All right.
Rod Strickland, he played for an organization called the Gauchos that I used to play for. When he went to San Antonio, he bounced around from team to team. He was a Knick originally. They ended up going to San Antonio. When he went to San Antonio, I stayed with San Antonio. So that's how San Antonio became my team, before Danny was there.
Oh, so at the risk of needing extra security for you when you walk outside of this building here, you're rocking with San Antonio in this series.
That's my team. But if Knicks won, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'm a New Yorker. But, you know, people are getting confused with reality.
Period. You don't even need to clarify that sentence. That applies broadly.
Yeah, listen. I said I don't trust the Knicks. I picked the Knicks before the season to start to go to the championship. Jason Tatum was a player. Halliburton was a player. It was a mess in Milwaukee. I said the Knicks' opportunity to go to the championship is now. I'm correct. I'm on point with my
Do you trust them now, though?
No.
Yeah,
Still don't trust them. They're up 2-1 in the finals.
This is what it's like, D. Green. Listen, right? It's like a girl telling you, yo, I got to get rid of 4 guys. And then we good. She got rid of 2. get rid of the other 2.
Still waiting.
Yeah, get rid of the other 2. And then after that, I could. Right now, you only got you 50%.
I'm with you. The reason why I asked, because I grew up in New York, too. I'm Long Island, no disrespect.
See,
they don't give a lot of respect to Long Islanders.
Your New York is coming out a little more.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I grew up, and all my
standing
friends.
online?
My cousin used to work with me. I forgot his name.
Do you stand online or do you stand in line?
It depends.
Oh,
It depends.
okay.
My cousin used to work with me. I can't remember his name. He's in my movie.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Is that your cousin?
Yeah.
Because you making it like it's not your cousin.
Through marriage.
Yeah.
Probably through marriage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll ask because I grew up in New York, but I wasn't a Knicks fan growing up.
Right.
They weren't good. They always let down everybody. So, you know, my dad, he liked Mike and the Bulls. So and I was wondering, you know, because I hear the pod a lot of times. Shout out to Mace and Stat and all.
Yeah, appreciate you watching.
Always like disappointed. And I didn't believe in them either, but I believe them much this year, what they've shown me. To say on air that I had the Knicks in 6, even though I am a Spurs fan and biased, and I am a Spurs.
How old are you?
I will be 39 this month.
I'm older than you.
Yeah.
And
You've seen it a longer time.
Yeah, I mean, you might have, I don't know if you remember, you might have been too young to see the Knicks up 3-2 in '94. I've seen this movie before.
You still believe that the Spurs are going to come back and win this? He's looking at my pen, inching towards it. You still believe the Spurs are going to win this series?
I don't know. I didn't put it like this. The Knicks should win this series.
Yeah.
But
you don't trust them.
New York, NYC is for next year. Every year is next year. Every year is next year.
So
yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
What do the Knicks got to do in Game 4 to bounce back?
And to change
and make
your
you
minds.
believe.
Yeah, really.
What the Knicks got to do in Game 4?
Yeah.
Win and then win another one.
You're not believing until it's done.
Yo, listen, man. I know as analysts, well, not me up here, but you get paid to give your opinion of your guess or your prediction. And that's what you're supposed to do. So if I have to make a prediction as well, I'm going to say the Knicks should win this series, absolutely. But what can go wrong will go wrong. You know, listen, in all sports, not just basketball, right? Have you ever seen an 0-3 lead in those sports and somebody come back from an 0-3 lead?
No, not really. Not many times.
It's happened once. The Yankees, it's New York. We lost to Boston. 0-3. This is what happens. It's New York.
See, all right. So if the New York Knicks go on to win this series, I mean, he might be on the opposite side of the San Antonio Spurs bet, where you're scooping.
It won't be next year anymore.
Look at Russ' face.
Their battle between the Spurs and the New York Knicks.
I'm telling you, some boys and girls, sports, there is nothing like it. I'm not gonna lie, I got goosebumps.
It seems as though you may be New York's newest villain.
I guess
I'm nowhere near Trae Young level, bro.
Alley-oop to Wemby, and easily throws it down.
At home, it really feels like playing 6 against 5. In here, it feels like playing 5 against 6.
Bang! 2 to shoot. Brunson pulls, elbow jump. Yes! Knicks are down 4. Victor, back to Castle's got to force it up, right wing 3, got it! What a response from San Antonio, and they are right back in the series.
Oh, what a game we got last night. Hey, welcome to NBA Today. I'm Malika Andrews here alongside Brian Windhorst and a couple of NBA champs, Danny Green, Kendrick Perkins here in the Get Up studio. So thank you, friends, for letting us borrow your digs. But Perk, you were feeling it going into the first finals game since 1999 in Madison Square Garden. You were complimenting to the fans. Did it live up to the hype, the energy you were expecting?
Listen, I was expecting more.
Really?
Inside the arena.
Oh.
I was expecting, maybe my expectations were set a little bit too high, and maybe I underestimated what I witnessed and played in the environments of the Celtics and OKC.
Yeah.
I was just expecting a little bit more. I'm not saying that they're not going to be better, but let me say this. It is cold as hell in this studio. I'm colder than a polar bear toenail.
That takes something for you to say that, because usually you're the one that's begging us to turn down the thermostat. I don't know, Perk. Before tip-off, I had goosebumps. I thought it was the energy in that building right before tip was so cool to be able to see. But now Perk, we've had a couple of hours to digest. So have both teams, what we saw here in Game 3. And the Spurs and the Knicks, they spoke to reporters a couple of hours ago. Let's start with Victor Wembanyama on what he's learned through these first 3 games.
What we've learned, I mean, many things over these playoffs. Many things. Brace with your hands and not with your chin. Hit below the head if you do. And many other things, but most importantly, be relentless.
Be relentless.
Let's add don't push guys down to the ground on picks into that list.
Well,
put that on
Monty McCutcheon is going to be joining us, the head of all NBA referees, and we are going to ask him if we could see any continued fallout from that play that you're talking about, Brian. But last night was what Victor Wembanyama is at his best. He was getting to the rack. He was on lobs in particular. What was the difference maker?
I mean, he said it, relentless, right? Yeah. He was intentional with everything he did. Like, no wasted motion, setting hard screens, rolling hard to the basket, making his teammates. And the guards, you got to give a lot of credit to Castle, Fox, Harper. Like, them attacking the paint also allowed him to be more open, those other guys to be open. But he let it be known. He set the tone, getting in the paint, dunking the ball, pushing guys around. I don't care, I got nothing to lose. Said keep elbows above the head. But he did all those little things they needed to do to set the tone in this game. And it opened up the floor for everybody else. And you see Champagne getting into the mix. Vassell knocking down a 3 or 2. Castle, he started getting open. So it was a collective effort, but it always starts with him. And when he touches that paint, it's a lot of trouble for the other team.
Oh.
Yeah. Little bravo clap?
To Miss Johnson.
Okay.
Wait, not to Victor.
I'm going to tell you why. Because Victor had been basically screaming through his play, help a brother out. Last night, Miss Johnson helped that brother out. What he did for Victor defensively, taking him off of Karl Anthony Towns, letting him be that roam guy, it was huge. It was huge for their defense. Obviously, we know when Victor is allowed to roam and be in the paint, what ended up happening? He stopped drives, he blocked shots, he intimidates people. Look at the matchups yesterday in Game 3, right? Stephon Castle guarded him 15 times. Devin Vassell, 11. Keldon Johnson, 7. Like, those were huge. And then on top of that, Wendy, let me say this. We talk about his energy level.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
say. Right? We talk about his energy level. You don't think he had more energy not having to guard and deal with Karl Anthony Towns?
I do not want to be the old man on the porch yelling.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
Really
About to hear it. Let's hear it. Do it.
God, did I like it when Victor Wembanyama went old school, went into the paint as a big man yesterday.
You sound like Michael Wilbon.
I just wanted him to go into the paint. I mean, I'm not saying never shoot a 3.
Yeah.
But how about for every dunk, you're allowed to shoot 2 threes? He started out and he had 3 dunks in the first 5 minutes. And I'll be darned if the Knicks weren't in trouble and couldn't handle them inside. And when they were in trouble, that's what you do. Act like you're 7'5". I loved it. And that energy that he showed in the first half transform the start, transform the whole mentality of the Spurs.
Yeah, it seems like everyone followed Victor Wembanyama's lead. And you mentioned the energy. It was in the building. And I think the Spurs, they thrive off of that. They like going into enemy territory and saying, you know what, we are here. And we saw that in Game 3. The anticipation, I said it before, it's one of the coolest environments that I've been a part of. That swell right before, that's what separates sports.
The pregame energy was where it was
celebrities in the building. President Donald Trump, he became the first sitting president to attend a finals game. Yes, Jay-Z was. All right, so this is the play that you're talking about, Brian.
Humans.
This is just, first off, there's 2 fights practically going on the court there right now, but yeah.
So see Coach Amon Shumpert on the baseline saying, don't fight the zone there, Cat.
Yeah, move
Eventually, it does lead.
How can you possibly find Amon in the crowd?
They dare Josh Hart to shoot. It's like, where's Waldo, but where's Amon? Swing, over to Jalen Brunson.
Shot right there.
Huge shot there. So the Knicks, they shared it really well here.
Down.
Here's Mike Brown talking about that stagnant offense, though, later in the game.
A lot of drag into what we call, summertime, which is just kind of ball movement, body movement. And we just wanted to stand and watch one guy dribble a ton. And then when the ball got passed, there were no quick decisions by the guy receiving the basketball.
So what did that allow? That allowed the San Antonio Spurs big 3 to take charge here.
Yep, attacking on offense.
Finds Wemby for the lob, and then De'Aaron Fox lobs it up there for Victor. Just tip it on in there, Perk.
He did, and look, it was the little things, right? Like for the Knicks, not getting the bump, letting Victor get behind them, not switching to get under the weak side, not pulling in.
But this sequence here, this was a little bit confusing because Jalen Brunson, he was trying to save the out of bounds, but see right here, Dylan Harper, he'd come to the scorer's table to check in, but the play after this was simply a blown dead play. It should have been a technical foul.
Inadvertent whistle, what they said.
Mike Brown.
Inadvertent whistle.
Not happy about that one.
Big one here. Victor Wembanyama, 70 blocks this postseason, the most in a single postseason since another Spurs great, Tim Duncan.
Big
Hot potato.
Big shot, boy.
Hot potato.
I asked him about this shot, whether or not it was the biggest shot of his career and what he was thinking. A 29-footer from Castle, the second longest shot he's hit this season. But then Brunson in the clutch.
And they kept answering. That's the Knicks. They just won't go away.
But De'Aaron Fox, this was his best game of the series so far.
Player of the year right there.
Gets to the free throw line and makes them pay. So New York, their party is spoiled by the San Antonio Spurs. Let's take a listen to Lisa. I think she's in frame somewhere.
We're all the time confident. Did what we were supposed to do, but our job is absolutely not done. We're not even halfway. The hardest is still to come. Come on. It's midnight, man. Let's go.
De'Aaron Fox says it's bedtime. You know what? My girl is 5'3" and fighting. We salute the queen, Lisa Salter. She was fighting the good fight out there.
Statue of Liberty out there.
She was going to get that interview. Yes, she was. But this is just the first Knicks loss after winning 13 in a row. I'm going to count that as a W for Lisa Salters, by the way. I don't want to overreact, Brian. So let's just get really granular and specific. Is there anything concerning? Not the game and the loss overall, but what we can take for Game 4?
Well, the Knicks' offensive style that was really driving this winning streak has degraded a little bit.
You mean Cat as the hub?
Yes, the Cat scan, as Shump calls it.
I love that.
What ended up happening in the second half of this game, Brunson held on to the ball. They weren't double teaming as much as they had the previous games, and so Brunson didn't have that easy pass out to the 4-on-3. Their Knicks three-point shooters were crushing it.
Right.
Okay, so the Spurs were like, we can't double team Brunson. We'll play him heads up. And as a result, they were able to play their heads up offense with Victor Wembanyama standing behind Stephon Castle to help him out. And all of a sudden, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was watching that game on TV, and he started.
PTSD.
You did a little shoulder shake?
I mean, yeah. So looking at the stat sheet, the biggest thing that stood out to me was the 18 assists to 28. And New York Knicks, like you said, they've been playing beautiful basketball, sharing the ball. First half, it was moving. Second half, it wasn't just Jalen Brunson. Cat was in that double team too. He was not getting off the ball quick enough, quicker decisions. Then he throws it to Jordan Clarkson at the free throw line, and then guys can recover, and they're getting a shot block. Landry Shamet getting a three-point shot block. We didn't see that all playoffs until now because they're making, like Mike Brown said, not good enough decisions off the swing. So if they get back, I don't think it's anything hugely concerning, but if they get back to their normal offense and moving the ball like they did in the first half, they should be fine. But yeah, that second half was kind of glaring.
It's no reason to panic.
Yeah.
All the Knicks fans out there, everybody keep a cool booty. Keep a cool booty. It's okay. Like, the Knicks are up 2-1. They lost by 4 points last night. They gave up 21 points. They gave up 21 points off of turnovers. They had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. If I'm the Knicks and I'm walking in that locker room, I'm pissed off because I know we could have played better.
Right.
But on top of that, I'm saying to myself, man, we could have won that ball game.
But isn't that what the San Antonio Spurs were also saying the first two games, right?
They could have.
This series is so in the margins.
It is, and it's the little things, like things that we were just highlighting when we were running Wemby clips for his lobs. Certain things, miscommunication, things that we saw them doing in the first game, pulling in.
But you're always talking about when Jalen Brunson, you always point out, Perk, when he starts, as you like to say, your words not mine, dribbling the air out of the basketball.
Yeah.
And 21 of his 25 shots last night, they were off the dribble. That's much higher than we saw the first two games.
They were, and to me, I thought it was a bit selfish, but sometimes you got to allow great players to go be them. Like, sometimes you got to allow them. And especially when they at the crib, and let's be real. If we look at game one, he had 31 shot attempts. How many did he have in game two? I believe it was over 25 again. So he's been being aggressive. This is nothing new. Like,
it's actually the best shooting game he's had in the series.
It's not anything new. Again, you lost by 4 points.
Right.
So it's not nothing to really.
But that's why this series doesn't deserve to be a sweep, because the San Antonio Spurs could
we ain't
say
got
the
no
first
sweep.
with
Listen,
the first two.
Tomorrow night.
It's thank you.
Good Lord. I mean, like, the stakes are high. I mean, the Knicks win this, you can play in the parade. Knicks don't win this.
Oh.
Woo, boy.
Okay,
it's going to be a high anxiety.
For
high
other
anxiety.
reasons.
It's going to be hell and hot water. But now, all of a sudden, DG, Malika, Wendy, it's the battle of the sidelines. Because I've been calling for Miss Johnson to see, hey, listen, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for us, your adjustments? We saw some from Mike Brown, and now all of a sudden, Miss Johnson said, well, hold on, Big Perk. Keep your ass still over there. Let me show you what I got. And he threw some things out there. That horns action with Stephon Castle. He was in attack mode. And then the adjustment for us with Wemby and his rotations, you could tell that the message was sent to Keldon Johnson. I don't care about you scoring a single point. I need you to go in and get physical with Carl Anthony Towns.
He did.
Yeah.
That
and
was
maybe a little physical with Mitch Robinson as well on a play that for a second there it looked like it could have swung the game as well. All right, we got to get to some news before we head to break here as we look towards Game 4 tomorrow night. So I want to welcome in our senior NBA insider, Shams Charania. Shams, we saw that President Trump, he was in attendance for Game 3. What do we know about his plans on if he will attend Game 4?
Malika, sources tell me that President Donald Trump will not be attending Game 4 of Knicks Spurs in the NBA Finals on Wednesday night. Donald Trump did say last week that he might go to Game 3 and Game 4, but he will not be attending Game 4. Of course, the Knicks lost Game 3. He was shown on the Jumbotron as well. It remains to be seen if he would go to a potential Game 6. The Knicks were in clinching position.
Yeah, the New York Knicks fans, certainly when they saw him on the Jumbotron, yet let their reactions here be known. So no President Donald Trump, it is sounding like, for Game 4 here, Shams. By the way, before we let you go, did you ever get your AirPods back? What happened there? The entire world wants to know.
Malika, they're somewhere in Penn Station, so if anyone will find them. I've sent the location out. Yes, I know how to use Find My Device.
They have your initials on them?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if anyone's going to be able to find them, though.
These are the correspondents. If anyone, a good Samaritan, wants to return those. Otherwise, Shams, I think they may end up on
I think Shams is headed for new AirPods.
Yeah, I think she's headed for AirPods number 2. By the way, Shams, before we let you go, congratulations are in order for our friend Shams Charania.
Yeah.
He made the 100 most influential people in sports list that Time put out.
It's because of that leather jacket.
Very, very well deserved.
The hair.
I appreciate you guys.
You are the best. It is awesome to work with you, and we are very, very proud of our Time 100 member. Hey, coming up here on NBA Today, first, the Knicks 4. Madison Square Garden. It was the place to be last night, and despite the loss, OG Anunoby, he did have one of his best games of the playoffs. He had 28 points on just 13 shots. I caught up with him just about an hour ago.
OG, Game 3, it didn't go your way, but you had an impressive scoring performance, 28 points, scoring on all 3 levels. What was working so well for you?
Just my teammates finding me being aggressive, hunting my shot, and then just shooting with confidence.
Part of your charge at times is defending Victor Wembanyama. And I know you're not going to give away your entire scheme, but he was able to get to the basket a little bit more in Game 3. What do you think changed, and what adjustments do you want to see in Game 4?
I mean, they're well coached, and he's very talented. Talented players find a way. We just have to be more aggressive, try to make him more uncomfortable, and just execute team-wise.
All right, I won't grill you anymore on the court, but you got a hug from one of my all-time heroes, Mariska Hargitay, last night. What does it mean to have her support?
Oh, it's awesome. We see her all the time. She's a huge fan, always supporting us, so it's really cool to see her there and talk to her a little bit after before the game.
An awesome person to have courtside here in Madison Square Garden. The always verbose OG, thank you so much.
That was fun. Well, the Knicks, they dropped their first game in 46 days. They saw their win streak snapped at that unlucky number, 13. Although my mother says 13 is a lucky number for her, so who knows. It was, though, the second longest run in playoff history. Danny Green, he's at our big board to break down what was the biggest difference that we saw in Game 3, DG.
Well, the biggest difference, as we've seen, was Karl-Anthony Towns and the lack thereof Karl-Anthony Towns in Game 3. He was way more assertive in Games 1 and 2, got to the post, took advantage of the smalls. As you see here, and if he watches this film, he'll see that he kind of let one slip away. They only lost by 4 points. If he does some more of these little things, instead of giving in to the perimeter defense of these guards switching on him, he's got Castle on him right now. He's kind of floating, looking around, not knowing what to do. In Games 1 and 2, he went straight to the block and said, yo, give me the ball. If you double, we'll find it. We'll swing. Right here, he's kind of just like in fairy tale land. I don't know what's going on. Right here, same thing. Got Castle on him, kind of tangling up with him, setting a screen, not knowing where to go. I know Wemby's there. He's kind of reluctant to dive, but you got to be assertive. You got to get to this block here. Make this guy, whoever's guarding Wemby, flash to the post. Got to be more proactive and getting open looks and also getting to the block with those smalls on you and punishing them. If he did that, again, his fourth quarters will look a lot different than it does right now. Through the first 3 quarters, he's been great. But the fourth quarter, he's 0 for 6 throughout the whole series. If he can show up or be more assertive in the post and in these fourth quarters, the Knicks probably win a little bit more comfortably than they have in the last 2 games or so.
Yeah, we've talked about him being the catalyst in a lot of ways for this team. And another area that was hotly, Danny, contested was the free throw battle, right? The Spurs, they took 16 more in the second half, but the Knicks, they were in the penalty in the final 9 minutes and 18 seconds of the game. So Coach Mike Brown, he was not very happy about the discrepancy of the foul shots after the game. Here's what he said.
To go 24 free throw attempts in a second half, that's 48 for the game if you think about it the way that they called that second half, compared to 8. All the shots we took, we got fouled 4 times, roughly, for 8 free throw attempts. Again, I don't complain much. I never thought I'd see that in an NBA Finals game.
That ain't cost us the game. Turned the ball over, didn't execute, didn't do what got us 13 straight wins in a row. That's how you lose a game. We didn't do what we've been doing for 13.
So the Senior Vice President, the Head of Referee Development and Training, Monty McCutcheons, joins us now. Monty, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate that after a coach has some feedback like that, you want to chat with us about what you saw. So when you're hearing something like that from Mike Brown or from any coach, what is it the referees internalize? What do you take from that?
Well, you have to take and understand everyone's role. Most certainly advocating for a team is part of a coach's role, and I don't begrudge anyone that, most certainly. I do think it's important that we as officials sort of separate different nuances to that. Fair and equitable are not the same thing. Equitable would mean the exact same amount of free throws, which is being referenced here. But fair is calling similar plays similarly.
Okay.
And we've got to make sure that for our consistency as referees, that if the same types of plays are taking place, that they're called the same. That may or may not end up, based on playing styles, mean the same amount of free throws at any given time.
You said that equality and equity is not the same
as fairness.
Equity is not the same as fairness. So let's walk through, I think, maybe a couple of plays that have gotten a lot of attention. And if we could start in the first quarter last night, there was an incident where Victor Wembanyama, he sort of shoved Jalen Brunson in the back, and no foul was called there. We're bringing up the video right now. I want to make sure that everyone's seeing it as we're talking it through here. Okay, yeah, this is the play right here. So what's the process when reviewing a play like that on whether or not, in hindsight, it should be raised to the level of a flagrant foul?
Well, most certainly, I think we can all agree that a foul was missed on that play.
Right.
We have a big part of our job is to on-ball, off-ball exchanges between referees. We did a poor job of that here where we got 2 people on ball and we don't see the screening action.
Yeah.
Lots of fighting over screens throughout the game. And if we break down in our fundamentals in even the smallest amounts, we have the opportunity to miss a clear foul as we missed here. You know, every game is reviewed by the league office post-game, the entirety of the game, and we're in the process of doing that today. Most certainly it's important to note, though, as we do that review, that there's a real deference, just like in our replay center, Malika, that we want a clear and conclusive standard to upgrade something, because we do defer to the on-court officials. They're the ones feeling the moments.
Right.
They're the ones that are involved in the up and down of the game. If there's a clear miss, then there's a possibility for an upgrade, but it is a clear and conclusive standard.
Right.
It's not the same as re-refereeing it.
Is though hitting someone in the head a clear and conclusive standard? This is a big deal because Victor Wembanyama has 3 flagrant foul points now. He's 2 now.
Yep.
So if he upgrades 1 more, and then you only get 4 before you're suspended for a game.
So language is really important here. And most certainly as we speak generally, like we are here in a conversation, it's easy to use different words. And so hit and push are 2 different things in that way. And I think that leads to a demarcation line. Most certainly the passion we're seeing in this series is what our fans and what the whole world is responding to. We have had 3 really great, exciting games that have been historical in drawing us in that way. Most certainly the intensity that we're seeing, I think, measures up to what our players and what our writers and what our personalities all are drawn to. Refereeing that is very difficult as well, because the best sport represents that intensity. It lives on the edge of what is legal and not legal. That makes refereeing it very much more difficult than, let's say, in the middle of November, because every player is playing to the full limit and pushing all the envelopes they can to get that small margin of victory out. Most certainly on us as referees, we realize that when we referee along that edge, we're going to find plays that are open to debate, that most certainly varying opinions, differing opinions are valid and can be justified from a perspective. We want to make sure, though, that when we're impacting the game as referees, that we aren't killing the game or stifling the game, but allowing enough physicality where players can really perform while not letting it go too far. And when you get a play like this that's on the demarcation line, there's going to be open debate about it.
I'm glad you brought up that word physicality, because these finals have been physical. Like, coming into a game, the crew that's officiating the game, do they have y'all have this prep call or something that y'all gonna allow guys to get really physical? Because I'm seeing the hand checking, I'm seeing the grabbing. It could have been foul calls both ways in the 4th quarter between Wemby and Karl-Anthony Towns. They were locked up the entire time.
I most certainly had thoughts about how I was going to referee Kendrick Perkins.
Why you bringing up old stuff, man? Why you bringing up old stuff?
In the finals. Most certainly. I think that any good referee, when they're coming into the best time of the year, is aware of what is possible. But they have to let the action actually dictate their decisions. To be unaware would put you on your heels. To anticipate past what actually happens then means that you're making decisions that aren't warranted and would stifle the game the way we talked. We want to most certainly, we want a freedom of movement game. As the intensity of the game and the intensity of a series, remember, this isn't a regular season game where you saw a team in November and then you saw them again in December.
Right.
You're seeing everyone back to back. That means all the players know exactly where the action is going to take place when the play call is made. That means that things get tighter and more physical in that regards. We try to meet the moment for aggressive play, but not rough play. Rough play then is open to debate the way we're discussing here, but most certainly rough action doesn't allow the talents to be shown. Aggressive play puts it right on the edge of what makes basketball, in my opinion, the most beautiful sport. It's physical, it's speed, it's quickness, and it's skill. And most certainly as referees, we want to create an environment where those attributes can be seen the best.
You talk about you want your referees to be aware. Also, I know they do an incredible amount of study and review. A coach comes out and criticizes the officiating. He's obviously doing that to affect the future officiating.
Sure.
How much do you want your referees to not be aware of what coaches are saying? Do you want them to be aware? I mean, they're obviously doing it because they think it has some effect.
Well, when ESPN launched in the late 70s, I think we let that, out of the barn, so to speak. They are aware.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on. The training is what is supposed to overcome that. A well-trained official is able to separate outside noise with real feedback about what is needed for any given moment. We have standards throughout the year, and if we uphold those standards consistently, what happens in October then should happen in June. The intensity of the games, of course, mean that it's going to get tighter, more physical, all those things. So go ahead.
I'm just hoping there's one more play that I'm hoping that we can specifically walk through, because I think I understand the sort of ethos and the goals of referees, but some of these I'm a little bit like, well, what should this have been? So let's walk through this play. It's a very unique situation. It's in the fourth quarter where Jalen Brunson, he throws the ball off of Devin Vassell, and the ruling is out of bounds, Knicks ball. But then Mitch Johnson signals to Dylan Harper, right here, come sub in, to give them additional time to potentially challenge. But Dylan Harper, he just ran onto the court and the ball was inbounded. So what should have been the ruling be?
All right, so anytime part of a referee's job is where to stand, what to look for, and what to call.
Right.
Fouls and violations. But there's a really important part of refereeing that is running the game. And you have to run the game with a certain authority that isn't, overly authoritative, which can be off-putting, but also not to be in a situation in which you allow confusion to breed.
Which is what happened.
Which is exactly what happened. I would have loved for us to have been a little more authoritative and really run that situation. I think we contributed to the confusion by not being more authoritative in that regard, and allowed someone who thought they were coming in to come in. If a team sends in or starts a play with 6 players and that is their responsibility, we have a penalty for that.
Right.
But if we had such a major role in contributing to the confusion about whether we were letting someone in or not, it is very difficult to penalize one team over the other in that regard.
So it should have been a technical foul, except for the fact that there was confusion on behalf of the referee.
No, I think it should have been, you are not allowed into the game.
Right.
Make sure he is clear that he is not allowed in the game.
All right.
Or clear that he is allowed into the game.
Okay.
And because we did such a poor job of that administratively, I think that it was best handled the way it was.
When should we expect a ruling or a review of that Victor Wembanyama play and the rest of the game? You always do this, but when should the public know whether or not that's been upgraded?
Well, some of that is outside of my pay grade.
But in your pay grade?
But I do think that historically we try to get to the end of the business day in that regard, because you most certainly want our league operations wants teams to be able to prepare accordingly based on any of that. But as I said, that entire game is under review, and all the powers that be will help weigh in on that to get us to a decision.
NBA Today will be off the air at 4, and we'll know at like 4:07. That's just
Monty is part of the power.
We always appreciate the time. Next time. I don't know. I heard some F you Wemby chants, and that was the same reception that Trae Young got as well. But look, Victor Wembanyama, Steph Castle, they walked into that hostile Madison Square Garden and said, you know what? This is Area 51 territory. They became the first pair of teammates to each have 20 points, 5 boards, 5 dimes in a finals game at 22 years old or younger. And hey, I caught up with Steph Castle a little earlier today. Steph, you have a pregame routine that I've never heard of before. Tell me about the grapes.
Who told you about the grapes? I mean, it's not, I don't know if it's like a superstition thing for me, but yeah, I started that like late last year, and I started playing really well, and I just stuck with it ever since.
What is it?
I eat some green grapes, red grapes right before I go shoot.
And so you have to eat red or green grapes because it made you play well?
I mean, I don't know if that's what made me play well, but I mean, it's been working, so I ain't gonna go away from it.
So you had grapes before Game 3 in Madison Square Garden. Let's relive the end of that game. Just under 7 seconds remaining. You head to the free throw line. It's a 1-possession game. All of Madison Square Garden is booing you. What's going through your mind?
I mean, I don't want to say I didn't hear them, but I think I was just so locked into the game that I don't think it really mattered.
I would have crumbled like a salty cracker. What are you telling yourself in that moment?
I mean, just stay poised. I mean, go up there, take a deep breath, and I mean, it's the same shot, we shoot every day, so just go knock it down.
A little before that, 2 minutes are left, and you catch this grenade, hoist up a 3. I know it's the next game mentality, but be honest with me, how many times have you relived that shot?
A lot. crazy shot. I saw the clock the whole time. I didn't know if he would throw it. I mean, I thought he was going to shoot it, honestly, but I was happy I got it to fall, though.
What was going through your mind when you shot that?
I mean, a close game. I mean, whether we made it or not, I think I just needed to get it on the rim for my teammates. But, I mean, yeah, big-time shot. I mean, I can't really relive or explain how that moment felt, but it was a crazy experience.
It's pretty wild to shoot that shot in Madison Square Garden. I saw Dylan Harper saying that, at one point Jay-Z walked by him. Did you see all of that, the atmosphere, the environment, the coolest celebrity you saw?
Yeah, I kind of caught myself looking around a little bit when we came out there for warm-ups. Saw a couple familiar faces, but I think once, the ball tips up, you got the balls in your hands, it's kind of just basketball at that point.
Anyone you wanted to say hi to?
A couple people. I saw Phantom out there. That's my guy. So he was rooting for the Knicks, though, so I couldn't say nothing to him.
Victor said that he thinks that you're the most mature player on this team. Why do you think he assigned that to you?
I don't know. Honestly, I think we have a very childish team as a whole, so maybe I'm just like the least of the childish, but I wouldn't say I was the most mature.
What do you mean childish? Childish because you're young, or childish because this is
childish
fun?
Because we play a lot off the court. I think we're a mature basketball team for sure, but our off the court stuff it gets kind of wild.
Maybe that's where you get your wiggles out. Can you give me an example of the wild?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably off camera.
I was going to say yes, you do know, but no, we can't talk about it on television. I accept that. Your defense on Jalen Brunson has gotten a lot of attention, yours and Victor Wembanyama's, and Mike Brown brought up that level of physicality that you're talking about in his post-game. What's the line in your mind with seeing exactly how far you can go in the NBA Finals, knowing that you're going to push it as far as you can?
Yeah, I think just being physical in every play and staying consistent with it, whether they call it or not. Knowing that, this magnitude of a game, they can't call, every foul. I feel like both teams are getting fouled pretty much every time down. But, just trying to stay physical with it, but be smart and understand what they're looking at. It's a filling out process for majority of the first half. And then, once you kind of realize how the refs are calling it, you kind of just you want to play, but still make it tough.
You come into Madison Square Garden. You're down 0-2. I don't need to tell you. History tells you what happens when you go down 0-3. But now it's 2-1. So how do you recapture that same sense of desperation and urgency in Game 4?
Yeah, I think just still using the same fuel and fire from those first two games that dropped. Obviously, those games hurt. But, just trying not to get satisfied with this one win. I don't know if you saw us after the game. None of us really celebrated or, got too excited. We kind of just walked back to the locker room. And I think that's just, like I said, the maturity of our team. When things matter, we all want to win. We don't care who really puts the ball in the basket, who gets the numbers. We all just want to win. So, just trying to stick with it, like I said, and not get satisfied with just one win, knowing we came here to get two. That
Belief, are you expecting, do you walk into Madison Square Garden expecting to win Game 4?
Yeah, definitely. I expect us to win the next three, but, us just taking it game by game, quarter by quarter, and trying to walk this thing down. Like I said, those first two games really hurt, and I feel like it was an eye-opener for us. We don't want it to be that way. We want to, punch first and be on the front foot, but, that's the reality of it now, so just trying to take it game by game, but yeah, we definitely expect to come into tomorrow and come out here with a win.
When you say that you felt like you could win after Game 2, you could win the series, even though you're down 0-2, is that because of the margins of this series? Where did that inherent confidence come from?
I think just the way we lost is exactly the way that they like to play, and we let them be too comfortable in that, and we gave them too many opportunities, especially in those first two games with, offensive rebounds, not making an extra effort, giving them a wide-open shot in the late clock. I thought we did a lot of good things in those first two games, even though we didn't really play well as a whole, and we were still able to, come out with those games, very close games at the end. So, I don't think our confidence ever wavered, in those moments, but, going down 0-2 isn't really ideal, especially knowing you're going on the road next. But I think with the group that we have and what we've shown all year, I don't got nothing but confidence in them.
What's that saying? Don't let us get one?
Yeah, don't let us get one.